in a move that could be considered one of the most valuable gifts ever offered to the United States by a foreign government. The administration of President Donald Trump is preparing to accept a super-luxury Boeing 747-8 jumbo jet from the royal family of Qatar. This aircraft, often referred to as a flying palace due to its opulent configuration, is intended for use by President Trump as the new Air Force One. The plan is for it to be available until shortly before he leaves office, at which time ownership will be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation, according to sources familiar with the arrangement. The announcement of this gift is expected next week during President Trump's visit to Qatar, marking his first foreign trip of his second term. President Trump had previously toured the aircraft in February when it was stationed at West Palm Beach International Airport. This unprecedented arrangement is likely to prompt questions regarding its legality, specifically whether it is permissible for the Trump administration and eventually the Trump Presidential Library Foundation to accept such a valuable gift from a foreign power. In anticipation of these questions, sources have indicated that lawyers from the White House counsel's office and the Department of Justice have prepared an analysis for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Their conclusion is that it is legal for the Department of Defense to accept the aircraft as a gift and subsequently transfer it to the Trump Library. They assert that this does not violate laws against bribery or the constitutional prohibition on U.S. government officials accepting gifts from foreign states. Sources have also revealed that Attorney General Pam Bondi and Trump's chief White House lawyer David Warrington have determined it would be legally permissible for the donation of the aircraft to be contingent upon transferring its ownership to Trump's presidential library before his term ends. Bondi provided a legal memorandum to the White House counsel's office after Warrington sought her advice on the legality of the Pentagon accepting such a donation. The White House and Department of Justice have not yet responded to requests for comment, and a spokesperson for the Qatari embassy has also not replied to ABC's inquiries. Initially, the plane will be transferred to the United States Air Force, which will modify the 13-year-old aircraft to meet U.S. military specifications necessary for transporting the President of the United States. The plane will then be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation no later than January 1, 2029, with any related transfer costs covered by the U.S. Air Force. Aviation industry experts estimate that the value of this aircraft is approximately $400 million, excluding additional communications security equipment that the Air Force will need to install to ensure it can safely transport the Commander-in-Chief. As previously reported by the Wall Street Journal, aviation company L3Harris has already been commissioned to overhaul the plane to meet presidential jet requirements. Both the White House and Department of Justice have concluded that, since the gift is not contingent on any official act, it does not constitute bribery. Bondi's legal analysis also states that it does not violate the constitutional prohibition on foreign gifts because the plane is being given not to an individual but rather to the United States Air Force and eventually to the Presidential Library Foundation. The current Air Force One fleet consists primarily of two aging Boeing 747-200 jumbo jets operational since 1990. The Air Force's contract with Boeing to replace these aircraft has faced delays and cost overruns. Although initially signed in 2018, Boeing anticipated last year that the new aircraft would not be ready until 2029, after Trump's departure from office. President Trump has expressed frustration with these delays and has tasked Elon Musk with collaborating with Boeing and the Air Force to expedite the process. While these efforts have seen modest success, Boeing's most recent estimated delivery date is now 2027. However, President Trump has made it clear he desires a new plane this year,